to episode 14, a Friday Sews with me, Sequin Girly at Sequin Girly Creates. Welcome back to my many wonderful followers and to lots of new subscribers. I am super close to the 700 mark, but what is more fantastic than that is the amount of comments I've been receiving on my vlogs. That's the bit I love, the engaging with the other people out there who love what I do it themselves, might have their own channel or might not, and I really enjoy those conversations. My last episode, episode 13, a sewing confession, definitely promoted a bit of conversation, some shock, some sort of empathy, some people saying that's just like me, but what I really loved was the conversations that came from that. So that's brilliant, and thank you so much if you comment. I really love it, and I always try to reply back. If I don't, it's not intentional. This week has been an interesting week. I have done some sewing, I have done some sorting out off the back of episode 13, but also off the back of the fact that I'm off to a sewing social on Saturday, and I wanted to have some fabric to take to the swap table. And as if you've seen my previous episode, you will know there was fabric to look through, and I found quite a few things, and there's a video coming up next week where you can kind of come along with me on a little bit of the sort out. And I know some of the comments from last week were that people would love to sort of see the sorting, the organising process. I can't promise though that it will ever stay that way when I'm busy creating. This week's episode of Friday Sews, I've got some fabric shopping. I promise it was before episode 13 to share with you. I've got some makes and some mid makes and some plans to share with you. And a moth that's flying around right now in the room. If you see something go across, there it is, go across the screen. So that's a delight. Right, so let's start with the fabric shopping. And there is one person and one person alone who I hold responsible for showing me this site, and that is Christine at Gemini Stitches, and it's called Ammo Threads, and she spoke about it in a previous episode on her vlog. And of course the fabric she had, I couldn't resist, so I headed over there. I'd never heard of them, and actually I highly recommend them. They sell dead stock fabric, and often Christine was saying she recognises the fabric from other sites that she's seen it on in previous years. So hugely influenced. So the first one I got, and I'm trying a new technique, rolling them. I know lots of sewists out there roll theirs for storage, so thinking about how I store my fabric from now, I'm going to give rolling a try. So this is a jersey, and it is the same one that Christine bought. She doesn't mind, she knows already. And so I'm delighted with this one. It's a different kind of jersey from the other jersey I've got. It's more slinky. So I am thinking whether this would make a good Scirocco jumpsuit. So that's my first one. And these have all been washed and ironed if needed. The next one is a cotton lawn, and it's like this. They had it in two colourways. I feel this could make a fantastic top, maybe with some kind of frill. So there we go, that's that one. And that's got a nice soft cotton weight to it. Next one is a cotton poplin, and it's very sort of mid-century modern. It wasn't as wide, this one, as I thought it was going to be. However, it is very fabulous, and I'm deciding on skirt or top, or I mustn't, or whether to get a bit more so I could make a whole dress of it, but I really must not do that. And then the next one is, it says it's a cotton sateen, but this is very different. It's smooth but thinner than a lot of the sateens, and it's just glorious. Look at that. I know that this will be on my sewing table very soon. That is just wow. Every ounce a piece of me is all I can say, really. And then the last two, I thought I would get the same pattern in two colourways. I got 1 metre of this and 2 metres of this, because I felt that I sometimes enjoy sort of playing with that same pattern, different colourway. It's quite a good way of doing a bit of almost like colour blocking, pattern matching. I haven't decided yet what to do. It's a gorgeous soft, I think it must be like some kind of viscous or something, but it's definitely not a viscous challis, but it feels like it might be, but it feels more cottony. It's really lovely anyway. That feels more autumnal, but that feels more summery. I don't know. I know that something will definitely come to the forefront of inspiration very soon. So Christine, stop showing me amazing sewing websites. I am now going to take a pledge, and I did try to do last sew is standing and failed, to not buy any fabric but plains. And I'm putting the caveat of but plains in there because if you've seen my Me Made May pledge, etc., I cannot, as you can see there, resist pattern and colour, but I need some bold plains, so some blues, reds, greens, etc., to wear with all my patterned items. Hence why I often go for dresses, because then I don't have to worry about that. But actually I've got a lot of patterned skirts and patterned tops that I really love, so I do need to go for more bold plains. And so apart from buying bold plains in colours I don't have, I'm going to try not to buy any more fabric. Now I'd like to set myself a challenge, a bit like when I did the no sugar for a while. Didn't work very long, but I did try it. And I thought that perhaps I could, can I do 3 months is the question. I'd love it if you pop a comment below on how long you think I should try, and also how long you think I'll last. Christine needs to not show me anymore or tell me, well, she sent me a link the other day to some fabric that she'd had that I liked that she found on sale. I was like, Christine, watch my video. And she was like, wow. And so I think that I would like to set an amount of time. Please do tell me how long you think is a good starting point. And I have to decide on my rules, so whether that allows to charity shop or not, and does it include swaps or gifts, because it's still fabric coming into the house, but it's definitely something I'm going to have a go at. Really welcome your suggestions on that, because I want to give it a go, but I'd love to know your thoughts and also whether you've tried it too. Next, I'll tell you about what I'm wearing. So this was something I did yesterday. I haven't even hemmed the sleeve yet. It is a basics top. Last year I made a basics top and they worked perfectly. I made them in some ginghams. Then I had my breast reduction, and when I put them on this year, they just didn't look right. And also a year on, I've learned even more about sewing, and I just wasn't happy with the quality. I'd let the neck stretch out, etc. So I've made new ones. This one I've actually put a facing on rather than binding, and I'm quite enjoying that. I even designed my own facing pattern and it worked. So I will pop a picture in here of me in this. This is a piece of fabric I have had in my stash collection for many years, and I bought it in a remnant in John Lewis a long time ago. So it's finally been given life, which I'm delighted about. I have another one like this cut out, which is in this bag here. And this is a remnant I bought from Fabric Godmother, and it has amazing silver threads through it. So that is in the bag. I'll tell you about this. I traced around a top that I liked and made an adjustment, cut it out, basted it with a dark thread, tried it on, was happy, unpicked it, laid it on paper, made my own pattern, and then sewed it together correctly. That for me was a big achievement. Being prepared to unpick something I was happy with, but I purposely basted it in a black thread so it really stood out. A, because then I wouldn't be lazy and keep it, and B, because it was easy to spot. And I'm happy now because now I can cut it out in lots of different colourways. I made a facing template, as I said, as well. So I'm really delighted with that. One more and there'll be more to come. Let's move on to what else I've been working on. So if you remember the shorts I talked about where I worked out how to do the full bottom adjustment, well, since then I've now made some trousers. Now this fabric was from earlier in the year from Rainbow Fabrics, and it is, I'm not sure, it's really drapey but also feels a bit silky. A bit worried about static with it, but I also was like, are they giving off a bit of clown core vibes? But actually they look fine on and when I showed my other half, who doesn't always get my vision and my ideas, he really liked them, so thumbs up there. I'm really happy with them. I am thinking, do I want pockets? And I have just got to hem them. I'm feeling inside and thinking, why is that elastic twisting? And I'm going to have to do some kind of stitch onto the elastic. If you ever stitch onto elastic, somebody mentioned to me in a video the other day that you could stitch through it. I'd love some advice on how to do that without it going wrong, because I did try it a long time ago once and it was not how I wanted it. So if you do have any advice on how to stop the where it's good to stitch, or whether you can stitch all the way along, I'd love some advice on that. But it didn't stop. I made a new Ogden cami, and as you know, my last Ogden cami was too big, even though I looked back, I'd definitely chosen the size that was recommended for me. So I've graded out, I graded down a size or almost 2 where it was big here under the arms, but then kept the size down at the waist area. I also shortened the straps a bit and no twisting in the straps to now have a full cord. I did a rolled hem on the inside lining. So I will now put a picture in of the full outfit. Only worry is, because it's a bit silky, will it make me sweaty? Let's not worry about these things in life. Let's look what else I've been up to. So you may have seen a few weeks ago on my Instagram stories that I decided to dye some of my own fabric, and I shared some progress photos. I'll put some in here while I'm talking. This is something I used to do years ago. I haven't shared this with you yet, but I used to do a huge amount of textile art, and the textile art included commissioned work and stitching onto the fabric, etc. And so I used to like to dye my own fabric so that it had more variation to it. But I still have a lot of that dye, and I thought, why not dye my own fabric and then make my own piece of clothing from it? It has been a good while since I've done it, so I thought I'd just get some white viscose challis and some white cotton lawn to give it a try. It's been of medium success. I'd say when it was wet, I was loving it. As it dried, which can happen, it wasn't as bright as it was when it was wet. And obviously I gave it a good wash twice and an iron to fix, etc., everything in. This can happen with fabric dyeing, that it does look a lot better wet, and then when it washes out, a certain amount can wash out. But this is the beginning again, not the end. This is the journey, so it's okay. But the lawn definitely took better as well. So here's the cotton lawn. Let's move it around so you can see. I mean, there's particular parts here. This bit I'm like, oh yes. And then there's different bits where I don't love so much, but there is many areas where I'm like, yes. See that corner? I tried to get it, but it's not. Don't love that bit there, but when I get further around to here, I do. And one of the things that I did was lay bracken leaves, fern leaves on top. I've done this in the past with more success. This time not so successful. You can see little parts there. And because this was like a sun reactive paint, can't see as many as I'd like, which is a bit disappointing. I've done it in the past with leaves and I put those on and it didn't work. But just look at that bit there, look. So this will be made up into something. I just need to decide what. And the other piece I've already started, I've cut it out and it's in mid-progress. So I will show you. So I'm having a go at Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress. I bought it in the sale a while ago. Thought it was the Lyra, got confused and bought the Lotta. When I got it, when it arrived, I was a bit disappointed. I have to say, Tilly and the Buttons are brilliant at their photos for different body sizes, different ranges, etc. But their pictures don't always inspire me, and that didn't inspire me. But since then, I have searched on YouTube the hashtag, and on Instagram the hashtag, and I found so many others that I like. Actually, I realised I probably do rate it, but I need to do it for myself. The thing that puts me right off this, and I know this is really fussy, and you might not know this about me yet because this has been about sewing, but I am a massive shoe fan and I have a huge amount of shoes. Maybe another day I'll share that with you. But those shoes really distress me. And I think it's just because they're like clog type shoes, and the way the angle, it's almost like it'd have been better not to even have the shoe. Oh, I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? But I've cut it out, and I do feel this is something that could easily be modded and tweaked. And you know me, and I love a pattern hack. This is the top so far. Are we on? That's the back. And look at the front, look at that. So there's the front, and I've got the skirt and everything cut out. I really thought about pattern placement and which bits of the dyed fabric I really wanted. Bit trickier with the skirt because of the size of it. Look. And it's going to, when it's gathered as well, it will look different, and I thought that's why this would be a really good one to try this with, because it won't be flat, there'll be a lot of gathering. And this one, the purple was the thing that went the palest, which was surprising, but there's some corners and some patches that I really enjoy. And I'm going to put pockets on, so I can actually put the pockets, place them in my least favourite area to an extent, I thought as well. So I've held off cutting the pockets out yet. But in usual me style, I'm not going to do the waistband how it says in the instructions. In a previous video, I showed that I bought some of this shearing tape where you've got all the shearing already on. And I got two thicknesses. I thought this would be a perfect thing to try the shearing tape around the waist. I've already changed the neckline slightly as well. So I can't give a genuine review of the original Lotta, but I can definitely tell you when I finished it if I like it as a base pattern. And there's some patterns I see, the patina palazzo is another one that I see as a base pattern that I can then build on from. I think that might be what you call it, like a pattern block, isn't it? I'm still learning. What's not here is, I mentioned in my summer plans making some more t-shirt dresses. I am working on two of those, a green one and a blue one at the moment. They're not here, but they're in progress as well. I have to say I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing with my summer plans. I wanted to make shorts, done one pair already. I'm going to do another pair. I wanted to make some t-shirt dresses. I wanted to make a couple of cotton skirts, haven't done those yet. And I think some summer tops were on there as well, but I'm pretty happy with how I'm going. I'll probably need to watch it back myself, see what else I plan. Now, I need your advice. As I say, I've been sorting through fabrics to take to swaps, etc. And I've got these two, and my biggest problem is I fall in love with the pattern and I don't always ask myself, does it suit me? And that's the case with these two. Some I've been able to be a bit more ruthless about, but I'm struggling. So this one, I don't know, is the pattern too small on me? You know, I like a bold pattern. Would it make a nice skirt? It's like a quilting weight cotton, so it could be a nice structured skirt. Not sure. So let me know in the comments below for pattern number one, the sort of frosty floral, I think of it. Go or keep. Next one's a gingham. You know I love a gingham, but is this gingham for me? I don't know. It's not really my colour, but I can't have everything in the, I don't know, maybe I can. Maybe it's just not for me. I only bought this a little while ago. It was a remnant because it was gingham, but I thought I could combine it with other ginghams. But now I'm looking at it and going, ochre gingham? What other ginghams would that go with? Is this one of those things where I just saw gingham and went gingham crazy and didn't think about the colour? It's a really nice fabric. It's not quite quilting weight. It does feel like a little bit like some linen in it or something. So let me know, gingham, keep or go. I hope you've had a lovely week and are going to have a lovely weekend. As I say, if you want to tell me how long you think I should try and hold off buying anything apart from plain fabric, let me know in the comments, and also let me know about the fabric. I'd love it if you don't subscribe, if you could, and give it a like or a comment. Comments are my favourite, but obviously likes and all of those things help other people to get to see my channel too. If you want to see still pictures or action shots of what's happening as it happens, head over to Instagram and follow me as Sequin Girly. But it's been lovely to have you here, and I'm really enjoying sharing my sewing journey with you all and getting to know lots more of the sewing community. I hope you have a great week to come. Bye.